Hello everyone. In this video lecture, we will study the topic management of gender issue. So let's start with the video lecture. The topic, the gender issue, is the main point of discussion and controversy pertaining to the aspect of the male and female sex, especially in relation to the societal and the culture exceptions of masculine and feminine role or traits. Next is the gender issue in the workplace. So the men and women as a group tends to have the different communication and work style. This has been observed and documented by sociologists, psychologists, and other social observers, despite continuous debate about why such differences exist by the nature or by the nurture, and why typically the masculine behavior tends to be assigned a higher value in the workplace and why not to the feminine behavior. Now we will study the gender based perception in the workplace. The gender based perception is classified under the various criteria, such as first criteria under this is the organizational structure. So, the females are generally participative in organizational structure. They generally see the colleagues as a complementary. That means that females generally help their colleagues to complete the task, and men's are generally hierarchical in organizational structure. They see the colleagues as a potential competitors, and the next criteria is focus on interpersonal attention. Women's are generally focuses on processes, that is they care about how the people treat each other in carrying out the work, and men are generally focused on outcome, that is they care about where they stand in relation to the others. Next criteria is operating style. Here the women's are interactional, that is they interact to connect and arrive at a understanding, and men's are transactional, that is they interact to pass the information and give the direction to the others. Now next criteria is problem solving style. Under this the females are intuitive, that is trust instinct will provide proof and explanation as necessary. And here the males are having the linear problem solving kind of style. They are generally based on methodological thinking. They will not trust the intuition and until the proof is presented. Next criteria is individual work style. The women are generally collaborative. They see the work as a part of a whole and discuss and review with colleagues. And men are independent. They see the work as a separate piece and uh, complete work without the help of others. Next criteria is management style. Women are generally supportive. They seeks to aid, support, facilitate, and provide the comfort and meaning and rewards. And the men's are generally directive. That is, they seek to test, direct, organize, and provide the challenges, goals, and incentives. Next criteria is view of work related conflict. Here the women's are disruptive. They seeks to create harmony, view negative comments as a unproductive. Men's are generally normal. They accept a level of conflict as an inevitable and view the negative comments as a normal part of the work. Next is, that is how to overcome the gender issues. So gender issues are overcome in the organization by following these things. Like the first one is developing the professional and gender sensitive management culture and working environment, increasing the representation of the female managers in the higher position. Next is supporting the efforts of participating states in achieving the gender equality. Next is setting the specific priorities for promotion of women's rights. Next is highlighting and promoting the role of women in a conflict prevention and peace reconstruction processes. Next topic is the manager's approach towards the gender issues. So there are the six-step programs. Is a manager's guide for learning the more about and effectively handling the gender-based misunderstanding in the workplace. Under this, the managers can the first task that the manager can perform in his organization is to educate their employees about the gender issues, and that is how the gender issues can be managed in the organization, and how the equality between the men and women in the workplace can be managed. And the second task is access. There must be an equal access to the men and women, that is male and female employees, to the resources, to the funds, to the other things in the organization. Next task is ask question. So ask questions to their employees about why they are not gender equality, and what are the issues or problems related to the gender in the organization. Next task that the manager can perform is discuss. Discuss with their employees about what are the problems associated with the gender equality and how these problems can be solved. Next task that the manager can perform is listen. Listen to their employees, whether it may be a man or a woman, related to the gender issues, and try to find out the solutions of that problems related to the gender issue. Next task is to initiate the change. Managers first and foremost important task is to initiate the change related to the gender equality in the organization, so that he can be a initiator, and so that his employees or his um, uh, um, junior level employees can follow the manager's approach towards the gender equality. Next topic is organization approach towards the gender issue. So there are the seven way forwards for an organization interested in improving the gender equality in the workplace and a company's competitive edge. So under this, the first one is that don't expect a female executive to demonstrate specifically the female leadership style. It is an old fashion to expect a female leader to enter the corporate scene with her a whole specific kind of leadership style. So women are individual just as a men are, and linking a leader's gender to his or her leadership style is reducing the personal actions. Next is women are first and foremost individual, not women. We tend to attach the gender or a specific label to women and the norm label to men, even though a lot of people view men as a standard for all the comparison, and the individual differences with the sex tends to span a greater variety than the differences between the men and women. Next is women tends to have the different experiential background than men. So boys and girls are mostly brought up differently by their parents. Social activities, spare time, preferences, and society expectation tends to differ towards the boys and girls. Next is modern organization abolishes outdated tribalism. So every company brings forward a corporate culture. Managing a modern organization of knowledge workers, you did like to make sure that smart and productive people stick around. So you will have to make sure that there is no destructive corporate culture alienation in the organization. Next is diversity is about developing your listening skill and training your vision. So learning to listen properly to what another person has on her mind can truly be a challenging. So, however, that's what the diversity skills are much about. Next is the diversity paved the way for a career path visible to everyone. Transparency about what makes the people climb the career ladder is normally hard to practice. It requires a lot of courage to frank about why the one person is promoted instead of others. Nonetheless, it should be the only way forward in order to make visible to the talented crowd of the people working for you what kind of behavior is rewarded. Next is practicing the diversity ethos brings forward a region. Um, so when an organization start to actually incorporate diversity practices as something natural and logical, change will enter. So even more than the change, the people will find it sensible to reason why the changes is necessary, why differences make sense, at that we all grow through being challenged on our assumptions. Next is the important legislation for gender based issues. So there are the three important legislation for gender based issues. The first one is Equal Remuneration Act 1976. So this act under this act there should be a payment of equal remuneration to men and women workers for the same or similar nature of work protected under this act. It also provides that the employer must also not discriminate on the basis of.
Hello, how are you? What are you doing?
So Equal Remuneration Act also provide that the employer must also not discriminate on the basis of sex in the recruitment of workers for the same or similar work, or any other terms or conditions of employment such as a promotion, training, or a transfer. The next important legislation is in Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946. It deals with a provision regarding the safeguard against the sexual harassment of the women workers at the workplace. So, thus, the employers of the organization must focus upon encouraging the equality in the employment and increasing the participation of women's manager and business entrepreneurs. So, they must give the equal importance to both men and women, and there should be the no differences in their pay scale, facilities, amenities provided to them, and opportunities given to them, etc. Next is International Labour Organization. It also plays a very important role in promoting equality between all women and men in in the world of work. The primary objective of ILO is to promote the opportunity for men and women to obtain the decent and productive work in conditions of freedom, equality, security, and human dignity. So that's about the management of gender issue. Thank you.